Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Fight Night Narratives, where we break down, predict, and give thoughts on the upcoming and most recent fights within the sport of boxing. But you might have caught that I said boxing right there, which I'm trying to expand out to UFC content a little bit, just kind of dip my feet in the water. I did a preview video on both the main and co-main event. I got both my picks right. I picked Strickland by decision, Makhachev by submission, which both of those happened. We'll get to those fights in a minute. But a very good night of fights. With both. Well, UFC was kind of a stinker. It was a great card on the boxing side. Last night, well, on this video, Saturday, there were some very good fights. If you haven't seen my review video on that, it's on my channel. You can go check it out. I'll probably leave it into the video. But anyways, let's get to it. I said I was only going to cover the co-main and the main event, but I thought I would just bring up Kevin Holland's fight for a quick moment and just talk about it for a second. Kevin Holland was a short notice opponent. I forgot who originally was supposed to fight opponent. I'm a casual, so I don't really know who he fought, but I mean, when Kevin Holland fights, the guy last time out almost got knocked out by MVP. And then he comes in here and snaps someone's arm off. Nearly. It's quite odd. Like, the guy just doesn't take this stuff seriously, I feel like. The thing about Kevin Holland is that if the guy actually locked in and actually tried and didn't goof around, he could actually be a solid contender at middleweight, I believe. No, welterweight. He'd actually be a decent contender at middleweight. Welterweight. Excuse me. He'd actually be a good contender at welterweight, but the guy goofs around too much, man. He has the abilities to be a decent contender, but he just goofs around. He did it. He goofed around against Kevin Holland. Oh, the brain fog is going crazy right now. What I meant to say, that he goofed around against Stephen Thompson, Michael Venom Page. The reason why he lost both those fights. The guy goofed around too much, man. And that's why, I don't know, it's a mixed bag when you're watching Kevin Holland. It sucks to be a fan of him. You get a performance like this, one fight, and then get him being a goofball and getting shot out on points the next. But a decent win for Kevin Holland nonetheless, and maybe he'll lock it. But let's move on to these fights. First up, let's talk about Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. This fight was a bit of a snoozer. The UFC were hyping it up to be a real action-packed fight, where both guys are swinging for the fences and a war through five, in which it really wasn't. though it was a very strong performance from Sean Strickland. Of course, the awkward boxing style that he has, he just was able to march forward on Costa, and Costa did rip up Strickland's calf a little bit, but Strickland's awkward come forward, weird kickboxing type style was able to get the job done, and pretty convincingly. We'll get to the cards in a minute, but it was a very strong performance from Sean Strickland. The brain fog's going crazy today, guys. I don't know what's up. But a very strong performance from Strickland. Was just able to have his way with Paulo. And I see a lot of people throwing shade at Sean Strickland, saying it was a boring fight, but it takes two to tango, and I feel like Paulo Costa was kind of just in there to revive the thing in there. He really didn't want to fight, and Strickland was just pushing the action. But it's also difficult to counter a style like that where your opponent's just coming forward and you don't really, to be fair, I don't really know what Costa could have really done. He should have used his grappling more, or he should have done, but he decided to stand with Strickland. That just wasn't the right move, and that's why he lost. He should have made it more of a dogfight. Should have brought Strickland to the ground, because that's what Marcus Duplessis did well against Sean Strickland. Brought him to the ground and held Strickland there for a little bit. And Costa is mainly known as a submission threat. He's a BJJ fighter, so he just should have went to the ground, but he didn't. When you stand on the feet with Sean Strickland, basically guaranteed loss. And people say that boxing has quite poor scorecards, but the scorecards for this fight were quite atrocious. Two of the judges got it right, 50-45 Strickland and 49-46 also for Strickland. I gave it personally, I had it 50-45. I was going to give Costa the last round, but Strickland's late rally knockdown, how he pressed forward, got him the round on my card, so I had 50-45. But can we talk about one of the judges at this fight? This isn't a joke when I say this, but one of the judges had it 49-46 for Costa. They gave Paulo Costa every single round except for the 5th round. And there had already been some poor judging decisions earlier in the card with the Roman Kopylov fight, but this just really proved that the scoring at this event was horrible. That one of the judges had it 49-46 Costa, and this fight was a split decision. Like when you rewatch this fight, you'd just be like, at most this is 48. At least this was 48-47 Strickland. But it just I think it was either 49-46 or 50-45. Yeah, just a disgraceful scorecard, and that judge not be able to score the fight again. That card reminds me of the 118-110 Canelo card. First Gennady Golovkin fight. It's an awful scorecard, but great performance from Sean Strickland. Let's move to the main event. I was talking about the co-main for a very long time, but let's discuss about this fantastic main event. Well, not the verdict I wanted. I mean, I like both Makhachev and I like Poirier too, but I just thought it'd be really nice to see an underdog win here. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. But Dustin Poirier, he was giving a very good showing before he got submitted in that 5th round. And personally, going into the 5th, I had it a draw. I thought Poirier nicked round number 2, and he got round number 4 too. So, on my card, if Dustin had won the last round, it 48-47 Poirier, but one of the judges agreed with me. I wish I'd brought the scorecards up, but I didn't. But we'll get to the scores later. Let's just talk about the fight for a moment. The first round was a very good round for Islam. He got Poirier to the ground and manhandled him till the end. But it seemed like round 2, and from then on, Poirier was switched on. He was denied a lot of those takedowns. He had very good takedown defense, Dustin, and he was able to use his gritty boxing style to get some good work on Islam Makhachev. Of course, these pictures. Dustin, he had a lot of success in this fight, and a lot of people expected him to get submitted in 1 or 2 rounds, but he got to the 5th round. I think, well, definitely, Poirier gave Islam the most trouble since the first Alexander Volkanovski fight. And the Gilly gang does not win, but nevertheless, Poirier gave a great showing of himself. Went to war with the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, and will always be respected and known as an icon and a legend in the UFC. Well, in the sport of MMA as a whole, like never winning undisputed gold. But a very good win for Islam Makhachev. Seemingly next in line is Arman Tsarukyan. And Poirier didn't confirm retirement in the post-fight speech, but I think it'd be nice for him to retire and not go down, for example, a Tony Ferguson route where you just lose fights on end and end your career the tough way with excessive CTE and damage. But it was a great fight. I don't think fight of the year necessarily, but it was a great fight and a great showing from both men. And I think Poirier retires and Makhachev goes on to fight Arman Tsarukyan. Don't have any closing thoughts? I don't think so. It's kind of crazy to have more thoughts about the co-main event than the main event, but even though the main event was a much better fight. But yeah, I feel bad for Poirier, man. 0-3 and undisputed title fights. All of them have ended in submission. But I think that's gonna do it. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know what you guys thought of these 3 fights. Comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure to subscribe for more content. I don't know when it's gonna be up, but you'll watch my Deontay Wilder versus Li Zhang card review. Wherever it is on the screen, whenever it comes up, but be sure to subscribe. I think that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next episode of Fight Night Narratives. See you guys later.